Welcome everyone, fans and viewers, to the behind-the-scenes journey of Crying Wolf. My name is Cole. I'm the production manager of Crocodile Productions, and your host today. So tuck in, get yourself some snacks, this is going to be a wild ride. Crying Wolf is an exciting new fantasy series and multimedia project, brought to life by us here at Crocodile Productions, and based within the dark and imaginative world created by Iva Lee Sheremy. In this exclusive making of video, we'll give you an inside look both at our creative process from concept to final production and discuss everything that makes Crying Wolf the special journey that it is. We'll even reveal never before seen content today for you all. Discover the dedication, passion, and creativity that goes into every new chapter, art piece, musical note, and trailer direct from Iva and myself, our current creative team. As the mastermind behind Crying Wolf, Iva is here to provide a glimpse into the novels that have woven together this universe. Here the lines between legends, myths, and reality blur, and our heroes must gather all their strength to face the grim world before them. Through her words, discover the rich cultures, complex characters, and epic adventures that await you in the world of Crying Wolf. Take it away, Iva.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Colm. Now, Crying Wolf is a dark fantasy series spanning across 7 books, created to be a depiction of the brutality of the world, all in a fantasy setting. Made for adult readers, this series is inspired by the experiences and events I have experienced in my life, diving into an intense fantasy setting that goes beyond the imaginations of many. I started Crying Wolf in 2011, and the series has been in constant development since then, featuring brutal imagery, complex romance, and forlorn battles. Showing both the beauty and the cruelty of life, the series was built to both cause wonder and disgust. Crying Wolf has a full adult-only rating for a reason, so keep in mind that this series is not for the faint of heart.
Indeed, it is not. Crying Wolf wouldn't be what it is without its deep pool of realistic and powerful characters that fill it with heart, both in pain and love. All our characters go through a litany of extreme trauma as they face the many servants of destruction. Now, let's dive into that very heart of the series by shining a spotlight on some of the most intriguing and complex characters that inhabit this world. Each character brings their own unique story, struggles, and triumphs, adding layers of depth to the narrative, even as they echo another deeper story just beneath the surface. Stay tuned as we showcase these fascinating individuals and explore what makes them integral to the Crying Wolf universe. And what better way to kick that off than to finally show off everything we have on the most fundamental characters across the 7 books, the Saints. Starting with the first Saint and the Holy Messenger. Take it away, Iva.
So the main character of the series overall is the Messenger of Herenora, Iva. It was an early-on decision that the main character of the series would share my first name due to the uniqueness of the name, and because it fit the character best. Iva is the messenger of Herenora, the goddess of creation, and she is also the captain of the rebellion, the Silence. She has a really bright and hopeful personality led by her faith in her team. That bright side is also followed up with a bit of stubbornness and overconfidence, as well as her willingness to give herself up for the members of her beloved team, which she sees as family. Her fighting style is not really seen in any of the other females in the series, and this was for good reason. We wanted to give her a style that's similar to the one that helped her learn how to fight Cain. So you will see in her weapon designs that she carries both a sword and a shield, considered a pretty tanky character overall. She's often fighting alongside the other saints on the front lines of battle, regardless of her stature and status, choosing to bring the light of Herenora to every fight. Overall, her journey throughout the series is one of both beauty and horror. You see this character deal with some really brutal realities as the world around her changes and her feelings and body evolves. She's truly the light for many of our characters who would follow her to the grave.
Joining our Holy Messenger, we have her right-hand man, most trusted advisor, Saint and blessed counterpart, Cain. Cain also wields a sword and shield. He is a commander within the Silence and very often a rallying force within battle. His rallying horn boosts the strength and valor of his comrades and pierces the ears of his foes. As the series progresses, Cain consistently shows the value of loyalty, courage, and the importance of a studious mind, as well as a battle-ready sword. Later in the series, he even learns to wield many powers and to incorporate firearms as they flow into the chaotic battlefield. He fights with both a strength and technique unmatched by any within the series. Whilst Iva brought them all together, it is Kain who helped transform the budding Silence and Iva herself into a powerful force to be reckoned with. In turn, through the messenger, Kain himself discovers a new and unwavering purpose that fuels his every action as he became an unfaltering and inspiring leader within the Silence. It is Kain's greatest desire to keep his dearest companions safe and to deliver them a world without the constant pain of war. To this end, Kain, even from the beginning, has always been extremely self-sacrificing, ready to throw himself into battle or upon the blade for those he chooses. Already, with these two familiar characters leading the charge, Crying Wolf promises to deliver a gripping narrative filled with intense battles, complex relationships, and a relentless pursuit of salvation.
Alongside Ivan, Kain is one of royal blood. Kira is our resident pyromancer and the next in line for the throne of Harrenfell. Don't let her lineage fool you. While she may be the daughter of the All-King of Harrenfell, Alberus Amarilius, she has a spirit to be reckoned with. She isn't one to stick to her royal duties, instead choosing to fight alongside Ivan Kain as a member of the Silence. Along with her firepower, she also uses her rapier, which allows her to cut down enemies quickly and efficiently. Just don't let her use her firepower for too long or she could end up burning herself with it. Now, when she uses her ability, her right eye turns yellow, reflecting the power that sits within her. She is rather stubborn with a temper to boot, but she has a very loving and tender side to her. Another one of our saints, she stays close beside Ivan Kain on the front lines. They're in command of the Silence. She can go from calm and collected to a deadly silence within moments if she must. Overall, throughout the series, we see a lot of her confidence and sense of self grow as she lives and fights alongside her squad mates. While she understands her duties as a royal, she isn't afraid to live and fight as an ordinary woman. She wouldn't have it any other way, prepared to live and die alongside those she cares for and loves. She would gladly burn herself or give it all up just to prevent the other saints and members of the Silence from further harm.
Always loyal and by their side is our strongest of the saints, Edward. Edward was once a hunter from a small village, but has faced many tragedies that have hardened his outside into a powerful armor. While he channels his inner desire for revenge to strike down his foes, Edward is constantly pushing himself to become stronger, first to fuel this revenge, and then to protect his friends and loved ones. And there is no better exemplar of this constant push for power than the weapon he wields in battle. A massive, over 6 foot tall war axe, whose build is so heavy it would be nigh unusable by any other. As a hunter himself, and a naturally calm character in most situations, his presence brings much needed stability within the ragtag group of heroes. As the series progresses, he slowly begins to break through his shell, and inside you'll find he is a very loving and adventurous individual. And, although Edward did not join the Silence until a year after the events of the first book, he very quickly proves his worth and his claim as a saint within the Silence.
Last but not least is our final saint, Sly. This man is built up from a life he regrets, pushing himself to become more than he was even as his sins weigh down on him. Dual-wielding 2 different types of swords, that isn't his only ability. Blessed with an ability known as Shadow Walking, Sly can bend the shadows to his will, using them to power up his attacks or even travel to a dimension nobody else can access. His abilities are both dark and powerful. Able to travel between dimensions using the shadows, he isn't alone. He can summon a shadowy raven called Varlant, which allows him to communicate from a distance using his feathered friend. Now, whenever he uses his abilities, his eyes turn a beautiful shade of purple, and the whites of his eyes turn black. While he is a rather stern powerhouse, the other saints in the Silence as a whole has brought out a side of him that he never knew existed. An extremely attentive caretaker, he absolutely loves quality time with the ones that accepted him. However, he is highly protective of the saints, willing to take any injury, no matter the severity, to protect them. Sly will not hesitate to cleave his enemies in two in their name, especially those that harm the messenger, the one who gave him a new beginning. So while he suffers from his own mental torment, the presence of his fellow saints in the silence makes every day worth fighting for. Now, in a future episode of this series, we will be diving into all of our characters, but for now, that will have to wait. Now we will be diving into the darker sides of Crying Wolf. Creatures walk amongst the living in this series, creatures that can rip and tear through the flesh of both friend and foe in an instant. Inside the walls of the Silence's headquarters, there are plenty of beasts to go around. However, there are some within as well. I am now handing the stage over to Colm once again as he dives into the world of things that stalk the dark, the monsters of Crying Wolf.
There really are some monsters among the Silence, but it would be remiss to talk of monsters and Crying Wolf without showing you some of our real monsters. Stick around and maybe you might be able to hear one. That was the bone-chilling howls of our iconic were-elk, also known as LK-09, recently remastered and brought to life with entirely original sound effects and new art, both brought to you by Iva herself. With this remaster and reimagining, we hope to show off more of its monstrous size and bulk, standing around 9 foot 1 inches. The were-elk is a truly terrifying beast within the world of Crying Wolf, capable of unhinging its jaw like a crocodile. The were-elk turns everything into its prey. With antlers as strong as steel and a hide that is nearly bulletproof, this beast is a living weapon. Even the very howl you heard is a terrifying weapon in itself, capable of shattering glass and eardrums alike. That howl would be the last thing you ever wanted to hear. Thank you everyone for tuning in so far. Now we'd like to tell you all about the work we do here and the experiences we've had. Since becoming a part of the project a little over a year ago, I have moved around a lot, taking on new challenges and new frontiers every week. I've never been much of a creative spirit, as I would describe it myself, with most of my experiences and successes in life centered around mathematics or other logical pursuits. I started off my journey as a proud beta reader, taking the plunge into the world of Crying Wolf and helping out around the Discord when needed. Since then, I've been assistant editor, and now production manager. You may have already heard the song I put out earlier, The Fallen Saints, or seen one of the trailers I helped produce. All of these have been maiden ventures for me, and it's been a blast to learn all these new things and bring you all more of the world of Crying Wolf together with Iva. Also, around about a year ago, I became the inspiration for a character in the final installment of the series, Saren. It's a truly grounding and surreal experience to get to see yourself to such an extent through the eyes and lens of another. I've watched Saren evolve within the story alongside myself in my own life, facing struggles and overcoming them. Some may consider it an unusual experience to see a version or rendition of yourself written into a story like that. But for me, it was extremely exciting and somewhat eye-opening. For that experience, I am very grateful to Iva and the world of Crying Wolf altogether. I invite anyone who reads our story to look for themselves within the story, wherever you see it, in the eyes of one or many, on the ground of one scene or another. For me, it's when we are truly able to connect to a story in that way that we are able to feel the most amazing things. I'd like to share with you a quick sneak peek of what I've been working on lately before I pass it over to Iva to talk about her experience so far. Enjoy.
Overall, Crying Wolf has absolutely changed my life. Since I began this venture in 2011, a lot of things have changed about the series. Yet with every passing day, the fire to create this series hasn't died and continues to burn ever brighter. Telling this story has opened my eyes to a lot of things in life, both beautiful and terrifying. Yet I never find myself wanting to stop the process of creating Crying Wolf. Every character has been woven carefully from the fabrics of the fantasy I have created, each one living and breathing as if you could reach out and touch them. I never wanted to create perfect people, nor did I ever want to create a world of pure beauty. Instead, I chose to create a story that is as lifelike as possible, inspirations from my real life hidden within the pages. I strive to tell a fantasy story that doesn't stray away from the darkness or censor the truly foul. Since Colm has joined the team, getting to bounce ideas off each other has absolutely brought such joy to the process. It has reminded me why I love doing this, to tell a story unlike any other for the world to enjoy. While the road has been rough, you won't see me putting the pen down.
Let's wrap this up with a quick Q&A to discuss what's coming. What can we expect to see coming in the future? Okay, I can start this one off. Together we are hoping to finish bringing any additions we need to make the first book the best it can be by the end of the year. From there, we'll be looking for publishing opportunities and working closely with any beta readers. As for myself, I'd absolutely love it if I could bring you more music and continue to explore the other media we can expand to. Anything to add, Iva?
Overall, the biggest challenge will be publishing that first book. That is definitely the end goal. However, bringing more forms of media to you all is also a major goal. More artwork, 3D models, and trailers should be expected. However, if we end up with some more help, I'd love to get some rigs for these animated characters made so we can work on comics and animation as well.
What are you hoping to achieve with Crying Wolf?
The dream of Crying Wolf started with wanting to become an author. That is still currently the number one goal, to finish and publish all 7 books. That in itself has proven to be a far larger task than anticipated, but my hope is high that 2025 is our year. After publishing, I think going into other forms of media for the series would be the next goal. Our music, artwork, and models and products like that are a must. However, we have already been talking about the capabilities of a video game or the ultimate goal, an animated series. However, we are starting with that initial goal, publishing.
For me, it has been a bit more of a personal discovery project. Working together on this has shown me more of who I can be and how I can be more than what I thought of myself. It would be my ultimate pleasure to bring people joy with the work I can produce. I've personally toyed with the idea of creating video games as I have a lot of experience coding, and I've even created a few smaller games while studying. Games have always permeated my life, and I'm very involved in them and their many subcultures. To produce one of my own for Crying Wolf would be an honor, even if it is a massive undertaking. I'm enjoying Crying Wolf so far. How can I get involved? One way you can get involved is to sign up to become a beta reader. With publishing coming closer and closer, we need to make sure the story is being delivered as best it can be. If you have Discord, you can also join our Discord servers, where you can find exclusive content and hang out or catch up with us on the team. Any financial support is massively appreciated, and if you want to get more bang for your bucks or represent Crying Wolf and our brand, then head over to Fourth Wall, our merch shop, and get yourself some merch.
Along with the beta reader program, we also have 2 other programs. One of which is the membership guard, which is a monthly subscription to our brand. If you're looking for something more hands-on and have fallen in love with one of our characters, we also have character sponsorship program, which allows you to sponsor a character. This will allow you to get exclusive merch just for that program and the character you sponsor. We truly appreciate all the help we get from every program, so please feel free to sign up.
With that, I want to give a massive thank you to everyone who has tuned in for our first ever behind the scenes making of video. If you want to leave us any questions to answer next time, join up to the Discord and leave us a message. This video was a long time in the making, and I hope you all enjoyed this look into everything Crying Wolf. Thank you so much to all our supporters and everyone who helps to keep us on our feet. We hope we can bring you more in the future. Thank you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you again soon. From all of us here at Crocodile Productions,